Welcome to the Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering this week and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Westwood. I'm here today with commentary editor Conn Carroll. And Conn, the Examiner had an editorial this week about a big Supreme Court case from Republican attorneys general trying to end the Biden administration's effort to wind down Title 42. But you guys wrote about how that case is sort of not that important because the Biden administration is kind of doing that anyway, right?
Mute, yes, they should be mute.
Mute, that's a smart people way to say it. Thank you.
Yeah, so past Friday, on a classic Washington Friday news dump at like 6 o'clock in the evening, the Biden administration released the December numbers for the southwest border. So this is the catalog of who's coming across and how many are redundant. And it was a record number. So we're talking 255,000 migrants arrested trying to cross the southern border in just December alone. That's
Wow.
250,000 people. Now, if you drill down those numbers a little bit, what you look at is they can separate out how many those migrants were processed through Title 42 and how many of those migrants were processed through Title 8. Now, Biden supposedly is fully enforcing Title 42. But when you look at the numbers, that's just not true. Just 20% of the migrants that were arrested crossing the border this past month in December were processed through Title 42. That means the rest, 80% of them, were just shepherded on right through the country. Now, when Trump was president, those numbers were reversed. 80% of the people that were arrested at the border were processed through Title 42, means they were returned either to Mexico or their home countries, and only 20% were let in. So the court may say that Biden has to keep Title 42 in effect, but they can't really force him to enforce it. And because of that, no matter what the Supreme Court decides, it doesn't matter. Title 42 has been on the way out for months now and is pretty much dead already.
House Republicans are working on some border security measures right now. Is there anything that they will be able to do to make the situation at the border better?
Not really. What they can do is cut off more funding, because a lot of what Biden asking for now is, look, I need even more money to set up more tents to process people into the country faster. And they can say no to that funding. But at the end of the day, they can't really force them to stop taking migrants and returning to where they came from. Look, when Trump when Trump enacted his successful Remain in Mexico program, he had to go negotiate with the Mexican government in order to get them to agree to do it. Courts can't force Biden into those negotiations. And until we have a president in the White House that actually wants to force immigration law, the crisis is only going to get worse.
Speaking of Biden administration policies that you don't like, there's a discussion about the Treasury Department minting a $10 trillion coin.
Right.
Tell us about why some people believe that the Treasury Department has that authority and what that would do.
Sure. So this actually all goes back to 1995. There's a Republican congressman actually from Delaware named Mike Castle. And he had a lot of constituents that were coin collectors. And so he wanted to help them out. And so what a lot of them wanted to do is they wanted to collect platinum coins. But platinum is so expensive that the smallest coin that the United States government mint was selling at the time was $600. So Castle wrote a bill saying, look, I'm going to give the Treasury Secretary the authority to create any denomination she wants for platinum coins. And about a year later, this small piece of legislation was tucked inside a huge 750-page omnibus appropriations bill, and it became law. And so it just sat there dormant for many years. And then when the debt limit ceiling drama came about in 2012, some people said, you know what? The Secretary actually technically has the authority to mint a platinum coin in any denomination. And so people got the crazy idea of, well, couldn't you just mint a $1 trillion coin? And then the Treasury Secretary take that over to the Federal Reserve, deposit in the Federal Reserve, and then boom, that's $10 trillion more than the government can spend.
Does money just become meaningless, though, if you can just kind of make up your own coins of any denomination as much as you want? Or
I mean, there's definitely a worry that it could fuel inflation in some ways, but you know, a lot of people feel that when we're spending money anyways and it has to be financed by debt, that also causes inflation too. And there are some other legal aspects of it that people think, oh, it wasn't the reason why this wasn't the reason the law was passed. So you'd be abusing the spirit of the law. But technically, maybe this could be done.
Well, Conn, thank you so much for being here today. You can get more writing from Conn and the rest of the commentary team at washingtonexaminer.com.